Hello, subscribers and new watchers. Welcome to Optional Enterprises watch list for January 5th, 2020. Happy New Year. Hope and wish that you have profits this year. So let's jump right in. Got a few extra this week for you. Usually I only do 7 a week. We're going to do 9 this week. That's because we are at the tip of the market and there's so many great picks out there. It's extremely hard to narrow in on a few of them, but we did. Obviously, we're going to stick with some names that have been trading well. And the first one we're sticking with is ticker symbol BABA, BABA, Alibaba Group. This one's extremely simple. We're looking for a break of this 216 for a short down to our first target, 214.65 and 213.35. Now it's important to remember that we've got about a $6 expected move this week. Right? So $6 to the downside puts us around 211. And our target right now for the short side is 213.35, but we want to see it get below. Needs to get below that 216.60 for an entry short, which is also going to violate that trend line right there. Okay, to the upside though, we're looking for about 222, so somewhere right around there, which would be about $2 higher than our current target. If you followed me last week, you saw that 220 was our upside target, which we made after we get above that 214.65. So upside target is going to be 222. But we wanted to get above that previous high, 218.11. So we're going to spell it out one last time. For a short break, 216.60. Short it to 213.35. For longs, break above, we want that 218.11. Target 222. That's it for BABA this week, and we will see what happens. On to the next one. Alright guys, so our next one here is WRK, West Rock Company. And we've got some great bearish signals going into this one. Namely, we want to look here. This was the main reason for picking this trade right there. Got about 1,164 traded on these 4250 puts. Now this is either calling a solid bottom and we're looking for continuation higher, or these 4250 puts are going to be our push through down, maybe down to our 40 level. So, taking a look at the chart, we see we've got a trend line right there. It's going to violate that, which is also corresponding with this 42.37. So for a short, we want to see it break that 42.37, and we've got about a $1.92 expected move this week. So $1.92 brings us down to about 41. Actually more like 40, yeah, say around 40.70. So our support level right there around 40.83. We're going to be a little generous because we see that we've got some pretty decent volume right there coming in around this 42.03. So we'll say 41.59 is going to be our target this week to the short side. And if this area holds though, if the 42.37 holds with this trend line, we could be looking to retest some of these last highs up here, which is around 43.50. You know, we could even see 44. So Just to break it down real quick one last time. Shorts, looking for a break below 42.37, or a short down to 41.59. For longs, want that 42.37 to hold, or with a close above. It can violate it, but as long as we get a close above it, we're looking for a rise up to, say, 44 being our upper target. And that's going to do it for WRK. Let's go ahead on to the next one. Alright, so our next one here is Citigroup, and this trade just became a little more confirmed. It is 4:12 p.m. my time, or 6 o'clock over in New York. Futures just opened up, and gold is up $25. Looks like the major indices are down about 18, so definitely looking like some reversals tomorrow. This does not bode well for financials. Been following along with financials. You can see the chart had some major selling activity. We've got some huge selling happening in the actual ETF itself. You see right there, we've got about 2,500 contracts. That's 31, saying we probably call the top. And then we've got some pretty good contracts being traded down to maybe down to the 29.50s, about as low as 28. So this could see about $1.75. We're only expecting 50 cents this week though, so we'll have to see how that pans out. But nevertheless, financials are looking bullish, or bearish, I mean. So Citigroup triggered the major reversal, and my main reason for picking this one is we've got this huge, pretty obvious 50,000 contracts being just sitting right here at around 138 by 142. Now, why are these 80s significant? Well, we can see here on December 26th, we had a $1.24 move in Citi Financials. You can see the date. This is the Think Back feature for Thinkorswim, and we see that we had 21,000 being traded that day, which means that these, to me, are people who initiated this as a sell, meaning 80 was going to be the top, and they were a little worried that 80 was about to be breached as the market closed 79.83. So what happened to the open interest the next day? It went up by maybe 10,000. So new contracts were added, and then what happened just after that? This is the 27th. So we look at the 27th, and it looks like it actually topped off. They got one more little push, but it came back down, and now it looks like Citi Financial is ready for the sell. 80 being the top. Those sellers there at the 80s initiated it, calling the top. So let's jump back to the chart and check it out. So we can see that we violated our first trend line here. Got this trend line being violated right there. That's going to be our first signal. But we really want to see it get below the 79.10 for a short down to 78. Take a look at our expected move for this week. We've got about $1.80 expected move. So that brings us down to roughly, say about 78, which pretty much corresponds with our short right there. So we've got $1.80. That's our standard deviation channel for the week. So that puts us there. Or if we go up another $1.80, that's around 70, 81, 60, which would be right around there, or our previous highs. So those are our targets for this week. For shorts, break the 79.10 area. for a short down to 70.04. For longs, I'd like to see it get back above the trend line. Hold, retest the old highs. But again, triggered for reversal, so I'm leaning more bearish. Market being down as much as they are right now, I believe that would be a good call. So that's it for Citigroup. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, so our next one here is Tesla. Again, market pulling back. S&P futures now down 0.5%. So this one has been a great name being traded, but with the market pulling back, Tesla might run off and do its own thing, or it might pull back with it. I'm going to want to see it break this trend line right here. So we can get below this little trend line right there. Could be looking for something as low as 426.11. I'm definitely looking for pullbacks though. With the market pulling back, I'm looking for pullbacks. So that's going to be it for Tesla. Let me see if I can annotate this just a little better for you, just to kind of give you a little more direction. I want to see it break the low of this candle, 436.92, which is a pretty big pullback, so you could actually play into that if you wanted to. But if you're looking for a swing, I'd want it to get below that 436.20 or 436.92, which is what we're going to call our current support. Anything below there and you're good for a short down. Start looking for an exit around the high of this candle, which is around 433.48 for about $3. Breaks that candle though, you could be looking for anything down to 430 then 426. But if this area holds, you could just be looking at some chop sideways. Maybe play it to the upside, downside. But Tesla, definitely looking for shorts this week. Tesla below 436. First target gonna be the high of this candle, which is 435.31. Second target gonna be 430.70. Alright guys, so another one here we got triggered for a reversal is Western Digital Corporation. WDC is our ticker symbol for this one. And the most important trade that we found here going to be in our near-term options. And we've got 1,283 traded on these 65.50s. Now this happened on bearish activity, so these could be option sellers, selling them around 80 by 84 or 84 by 88, and we could be looking for a decent pullback on Western Digital. It is part of the information technology sector, so take a quick look at this chart. We can see that we're holding on this trend line, right? Pretty easy to see that. Holding on that trend line. We want it to violate this previous high. So 63.13. That's where we're looking for the break. Got a $2.62 move this week, which brings us down to around $62, which corresponds, of course, with our first support level. 61.70 is going to be our first short target. If, however, 63.13 holds, we're looking at 66 being our target. So, for shorts, we want it to break 63.13 for a short down to 61.70. For longs, hold the 63.13 or close above it for a 66 target. Again, triggered for a reversal, so always leaning to the bearish side on our short-term reversals. So 61.70 definitely being my primary target this week. that does it for WDC. Let's go on to the next. Alright guys, the next one here is TRGP. This is an energy company, and you can see that we're at a pretty critical area here. This could be a possible breakout area. After our initial breakout here, we can see that we are holding this trend line. We've just broken above what you consider prior support levels. So you can see we've got a pretty good support level here. This also acted as support here, where it stayed above, held, couldn't hold it, broke below. Once it closed above, saw some upper price action again, but again, broke below. Same back over here, we had a large volume spike there. So this is a pretty significant area, that's why we're using it as our support level. You can see we've got some pretty great volume. So the story behind this one, however, though, is a position began building back in December. Okay, so the 40 calls were traded, and 10,000 were traded, taking the open interest from around 2,000 to 8,000. You can see my little story back down here. Next, on the 18th, which is here, so the position began being built right here. This was just after this first initial breakout. And then on the 18th, we had another 8,000, bringing the open interest to 15,000. That's right here. All that in this 3-day period happened. The very next day, on the 19th, 1,500 were traded, bringing the open interest to 16,500. So right here, we've got 16,500 open interest. Ever since then, we've been seeing large trades, but it's only decreased the open interest. Right now, we've just had open interest brought down. Well, let's go over and I'll show you. So, taking a look at those 40 calls. See, we've got 10,000 traded. We're going to want to focus on what happens with this open interest. Does this open interest increase? Does it stay the same? Or does it decrease down to say 3,000? If it decreases, this is a very bearish signal. The reversal I would be considered to be confirmed, and I'd be looking for it to fall back down. So we want to see it break below this 40.90 level for a short down to 39.62. Now you see we've got a $2.17 move, which is pretty much corresponds with our support level there. This is actually maybe a little too high, but this is where volume, it includes everything here. So pretty simply, not really bullish on this one. If the open interest, however, does confirm it, if the open interest stays the same, then we're looking for 40.90 to hold. So for shorts, break below 40.90, short to 39.62. For longs, remember, for longs we need that open interest not to decrease. We need it not to stay the same. We actually want it to increase. Increased open interest on the 40 calls and hold above 40.90 for target of 43. That does it for TRGP. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, so our next one here is Skyworks. This is a semiconductor. If you've been watching SWKS, you can see that it had a pretty strong pullback on Friday on some pretty strong volume. So we're going to play off of that, and we've got an expected move around $4 this week. So $4 brings us down to around 114.60. So For this one, you can see we've already violated our trend line. Wouldn't be horrible to wait for it to break this 117.01 for a short down to 115.18. However, if we hold this area, or even come down this area and hold the 117, we could be looking for a retest of the high of this candle, which is around 121. So we're going to jump back over to the option chain here. We got a $3.96 expected move this week. So $3.96 plus or minus, that's around $4, so 114.65. So that brings our standard deviation channel right there, or we're looking at around 122, which is kind of the high of this area. For shorts, wait for the break of 117.01. Short target is 115.18. For longs, look for 117 to hold. Long target is 122. That does it for Skyworks. Let's move on to the next one. Alright guys, the next one here we got is Apple. Of course, great name. Just buy it. This week is pretty simple. Apple might pull back very strongly. So what tells us this? We've got a pretty strong pin right around here, 300. You see that we bounced off of 300, down about $3 off of 300. We got 61,000. We want to see those be. We want to see this open interest increase to 300. Substantially. I'm not saying all 61,000 contracts are going to be new open contracts, but we want those to be open, new, and bearish. You see, we've got some pretty strong numbers right around the at the money puts. Good, good, good. We could see this go as low as 285 this week. That's what I'm looking for Apple. I'm not bullish on Apple at all. So back out to the chart. See if we can find some technical levels for you to follow. So for Apple, I'd be looking for it to get below the open of this candle, 296.24. 296.24, below that level. Be looking for some shorts. But shorting Apple has caused some people a lot of pain in the past, me being one of them. I've done a few bad shorts. Back here, this little run caught me off guard. So you want to be careful with Apple. 296.24 breaks. Looking for it to short down to this trend line, maybe down to 293 being our first target. So shorts below 296.24. First target 293. Second target 288. Third target 284.82. Now, if Apple decides to do its own thing and continue to move higher, which seems highly unlikely, but if it does, 296.24, I'd be looking for longs. But longs above 296, play them real quick. 300 target, previous high. And continue to be looking for shorts because Apple has signaled a very strong reversal. The signal on this Apple has only come 3 times before in the history of Apples being traded. Only 3 times have these conditions, these very same conditions, been met. So Apple is a very strong short candidate this week. Again, shorts below 296.24, first target 293, second 288, third 284.82. I want to thank you for watching my watch list this week. Remember, this is not investment advice. It's just my own work, presenting it to you, showing you that it consistently works, wishing you profits. This is Optional Enterprises. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and like if you saw anything that helped you. Thank you.